Okay, this playlist is going to take care of the second section of the test, which is geometric mean. Your setup is going to be the same. Original problem in the first box, the rework in the second box. For this section, because it's dealing with geometric mean, you could have used this graphic organizer to help you what to do. It breaks down the different type of problems using geometric mean, the two-number rule, which is basically what we're doing on the first two, okay, and your setup that you need for that. The altitude rule, the leg rule, left or right, and then this was on the back. How do you know which rule to use, okay? So on this first one, on 6 and 7, it's a two-number rule because they're giving us two numbers. And so the setup that was shown on the graphic organizer was you take your number, you put it over x equals x over the second number. So on the rework, what I'm looking for is 8 over x equals x over 12. Now, some people went straight to the cross product. They knew, oh, I'm going to multiply those two numbers. But you have to remember that's going to become, when you do x times x, that's x squared. Okay? So it should be x squared equals the 12 times 896. So some went straight to showing this, but when we missed it, it was because we forgot to take the square root of that number. And that's going to require us to break this down into factors. So our factor should have been 16 and 6, but we're still taking the square root of that. And we're taking out this perfect square of 16, which is 4. I'm just going to come over here. Your x equaled 4 root 6. And this was our final answer, okay? Not just the root 96. So if you got this wrong, make sure you tell me why you missed it and what you could do next time, and to receive points back for a reassessment, a retest score. All right, so that was the two-number rule on number 6. This was the one on number 7, which is the same thing. So I'm just going to go straight to the setup. We should have had 4 root 6 over x equals x over 6 root 6. Okay, so when we cross multiply, which we just talked about, x times x is x squared. And then on this problem, when we cross multiply, we're doing 4 root 6 times the other, let me go straight to the word. So x squared, that means we're going to multiply the radicands, the number on the outside, so that's 24, and then multiply the number on the inside, which is 36. Now, we had some people just say, oh, I already know what happens. Anytime you multiply a radical times itself, it just turns into a whole number. It turns into the number on the outside. That's for any number. So like whatever number, if the numbers are the same here, and we're multiplying the radical to, it's just that number that comes out. So we did see people say, oh no, this is x squared equals 24 times 6, which is right. Well, here's where we had minor errors or minor point value loss. Because yeah, when you do 24 times 6, that's 144. But we're trying to find the x, not the x squared. So you have to take the square root of that. So really, x equals 12 here. Okay. You should have got x equals 12. And some of you were getting to the 144. And so you were missing the second step. You were forgetting, or maybe had a misconception on the x squared, or taking the square root. So make sure you tell me why you missed it and what you could do next time for this problem. Oops. Now, what we're going to do, all right, on the next set, the next ones are dealing with actual diagrams. So one of the things how you could use your notes, because they tell you the two different rules, but how to know when to use it. So like here's an example. If I'm trying to find the altitude, it says use heartbeat. If I'm trying to find the leg, it says use boomerang. This is what we did in class. So this problem is asking us to find the altitude. That's this section here, okay? And in order to do that, you're gonna need the two parts. So you need this part here. Oops, you can't see that, sorry. You need this part. That's worse. I'll do it again. This part here, and you need this part here. So you can do your boomerang, because not our boomerang, our heartbeat. And our heartbeat, if you wanted to draw it on your own paper, on your work, there it is. So the heartbeat says, this your rework with heartbeat. And that says you do the part over the altitude equals the altitude over the part. Okay. Some people do the acronym PAAP. But you have to show the setup. Okay. So the problem is we are missing this part here, but we know the whole hypotenuse and we know the 10. So really I have to do is the 24 minus 10, and I see that that missing part that I need here is just 14. Okay, so we could just go ahead and plug that in, and now we have our setup. Okay, so, and this one didn't ask us to rework it, but we had to at least show the setup here. So if I follow my heartbeat, that's going to be 14 over x, the part is the 14 to the x, the altitude, equals x over 10. And so that's all we need to do. We didn't need you to solve it after that. And so that was just this answer choice. Now, for retesting purposes, to get a better score, don't forget to tell me why you missed this and what you can do next time. Okay? Now, when we get to the next question, this one you have to recognize that because the x is a leg here, okay, when you're trying to find the leg for the reworking purpose, this is when you use boomerang. And boomerang, its acronym was hypotenuse leg, leg part, okay, or it's set up like this: hypotenuse leg is equal to leg over the part. So we already have the hypotenuse. This whole segment here is our hypotenuse. And we're trying to find our leg. So, but we're missing this part. This part. And again, you have to do that. You had to use the fact that we have 32 and 24, this part. So we just subtract the 4. Subtract the whole hypotenuse from the part we have 32, and this will give our missing part of 8. Okay, so if we're following our boomerang, it would be here, come back, and it stops at that part. So the hypotenuse setup would have been 32 over the leg, which is x, equals x, our leg over the part, which is 8. And so now we're going to cross multiply. I'm going to have to move over a little bit to get some more room here. So this would be x squared on this part. Yeah, then we're doing 32 and 8. That's going to give me 256. Again, because we're trying, find x, you have to take the square root of that, and this was a perfect square. Like if you put that in the calculator, it comes out to be a whole number. So we should have had x equals 16 as our answer. Okay, so if you missed this, make sure you have the rework, because I'm doing that with you. But don't forget to tell me why you missed it and what you can do next time. Okay, so if you need to pause the video for this section, pause it, fill in your part, and then you can go on to the next problem. So for the next problem, this problem was straight off a homework that I gave you. It was a geometric mean homework. This is how far is the lake. So the lake is this section here. So I don't know that, so I'm just going to put an X there. And we have the altitude. Okay. So this again was heartbeat. So this is a diagram. Don't forget, we're putting our original work here in this section. And here's our reworking. So if I'm using, using my heartbeat. Heartbeat, or your acronym here, which is meaning the part over the altitude equals the altitude over the part. The altitude doesn't necessarily have to be the x, okay? Your part could be an x. So this should have been set up as 4 over 6 equals 6 over x. And so when you cross multiply here, you get 4x equals 36. And then we're solving for x, so we have to divide by 4. And so x equals 9. And I believe, let me see, I think this was an open-ended question. I don't think I have an answer choices on here. I can't recall specifically. But regardless, tell me why you missed it. What can you do next time? Okay. And then I think our last, yeah, I think this is the last one. Let me see. Yeah, because then we get into the last section. Now, on this problem, you probably needed to draw it, and you had to label. In the company diagram, because this was given to you, it tells us that the CD is the perpendicular to the hypotenuse, but it tells you if AB, so AB is the whole segment here, if that is 16, and it says if DB, that is this part here, is 4, they want us to find the length of BC, which is our missing leg. We should be doing boomerang here. I believe this one comes out to be a radical answer though. So, boomerang says we're doing hypotenuse, leg, part, like that. Okay, or if you want to set up as H over L equals L over P. Because this is the hypotenuse to the leg to the part. All right, so go to our setup. 16 over x equals x over 4. Don't forget this becomes x squared. All right, equals equals 64. And then we have to take the square root. And so x equals 8. Oh, so this one did not come into a radical. I don't know which one I was thinking of. And so that was the perfect square. So again, don't forget to tell me why you missed, what you can do next time. And that will take care of the second section of the test. And then on the next playlist, so if you want to go to the next series of questions, which is going to be, I think, 12 through 14, the last couple. I'm going to do that this is when we're doing triangle proportionality, this for that section. I'll do that on the next video.